Greetings, fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the SU-100Y. This is a Tier 6 Soviet premium tank destroyer with standard matchmaking. The game I'm playing is an encounter battle on West Field with Tier 6 as the top tier and no artillery. I've gone to the eastern flank to start off the game, but none of my teammates have joined me. I actually only have two pieces of equipment on my SU-100Y right now. A tank gun rammer and an enhanced gun laying drive. I sold my camouflage net a couple days ago so that I could buy other pieces of equipment, and I forgot to put it back on, so I'm at a slight disadvantage from how I usually play. I am also using a new crew for this game, which I got with the Rudy, and right now I only have 6th Sense, which actually came pre-learned on the crew. So I have no camouflage net, an inexperienced crew, and no teammates on my flank. This was going to be a little bit of a challenge. I like having the dog in my crew, which barks every time that 6th Sense goes off. I definitely wouldn't like having it on all my crews, but it's a fun change up for one of them. That Chaffee was doing some pretty good active spotting before he bumped into that bridge. I'm glad he's out of the way, because I'm freaked out enough as it is having to defend this flank on my own. I have my premium AP shells loaded, because being alone on a flank you're unlikely to get more than just a few shots in before the enemy swarms you. So I need to make maximum impact per shot. That extra damage could allow me to one-shot a tier 5, or discourage a tier 6, which can halt an assault move and give me more time to reload. I got a decent hit on that German tier 6 heavy tank. 496 is a little bit of a low roll, but it's made him a much easier target now. I might have switched over to the standard AP rounds, which have more penetration, because I don't need that extra damage to finish him off, but it's unlikely that this heavy tank is alone, so I kept the premium AP rounds in just in case I had another full health target. Since I'm on my long reload now, I was hoping that my teammates would be able to finish this heavy tank off, but they only get a small hit on him, and I end up having to finish him off myself anyways. Now the SU-100Y is definitely not a ridgeline fighter. The top portion of the tank is way too soft, and the gun is way too unwieldy to just pop over a hill and snapshot. But the 5 degrees of gun depression that it does have allows me to get an angle on this Churchill 7 without having to go all the way over the ridge, which is extremely useful because it allowed me to just trade shots with the Churchill 7 instead of receiving multiple damage hits. So that's trading 137 damage for my 465 damage hit. That's a painfully low damage roll for the premium AP shells, but it still made it worth the trade. I really wish I had a few more of these premium shells loaded, because at tier 6 you really don't need the higher penetration. I don't know what the Churchill 7 was thinking making a move like that, but I'm not going to complain about 495 free damage. There's really not a whole lot I can do at this point. I don't have enough hit points anymore to make any aggressive move, without any teammates to support me. At about 11:20 in this game, my team was up 7 kills to 1. The enemy has made a huge comeback though. It's sad news that 3 of their tier 6s were on this side of the map and that happened. I really don't like how this situation with this medium tank has played out. I end up wasting quite a few premium AP rounds while trying to hit him. There really isn't anything else I could have done in this situation. That medium tank definitely has the advantage, because even if I did overextend and get a shot in on him, with his rate of fire he would have been able to destroy me during my reload no problem. At least no more of my teammates have been destroyed during this stalemate that I'm having. At this point I am just fed up with fighting that medium tank, and I'm going to direct my attention towards defending the base, because from the angle I'm at I can get a shot in on the Valentine, which is capturing. Fortunately my teammates keep him spotted just long enough for me to lock in on his location. A successful shot, but the bad thing is that that was my last premium AP round, and I definitely did not need to use it on a tier 4. Sadly, another one of my teammates has fallen, and the other one is isolated and sure to follow. The best I can offer this AT-8 is that he fall back and so I can cover him. I was willing to risk getting a final shot in on that medium to try to clear the flank so that I could provide some proper support for the AT-8. I was expecting the medium tank to come at me from the top of the hill while I was distracted with sniping, and was really quite surprised when I saw him peek up in this position. Fortunately, the AT-8 is able to get some shots in on him, which lowers his hit points just enough for me to do this. A really lucky shot to catch him on fire just at the right time. If I had had a premium AP shell, I would have been able to finish him off without the fire, but with none less, I really needed that. I have no actual intention here of rolling down the hill. I was simply just trying to offset the enemy's shots because I had a feeling they would be sniping at me from the other side. Now that this flank is clear, I have a great sniping vantage point to cover the AT-8. This is a really powerful position to be in at this stage in the game, especially when you have a spotter. It would be an even better position if it was a standard battle and my friendly base was down in the valley, but it works extremely well still for the encounter battle. This situation is really what all tank destroyers dream about, having a long distance to snipe over with a spotter, and not a lot of teammates to steal your kills while you're on the reload. One of the enemies has managed to outspot the AT-8, and I tried to guess shot him based off of where his shots were coming from, but fortunately the AT-8 spots him out and I'm able to finish him off easily. So now all that's left is an enemy Cheeto on the base. In an ideal situation, I would have hung back on the bridge and allowed the AT-8 to spot out for me, but I figured the AT-8 would be a little too slow to get to the cap in time. Fortunately, the Cheeto wasn't guarding the perimeter of the base, so I'm able to make it to cover and just stop the cap process until the AT-8 can catch up with me. I definitely do not have enough hit points to go after this Cheeto, and so I'm waiting for my AT-8 teammate to make the first move since he has reliable armor and a decent amount of hit points. I thought that the AT-8 had distracted the Cheeto enough so that I could get a clean shot in. I made my move too early and the Cheeto gets an easy damage hit on me. That's a real sad way to end off such a great game, and I had high hopes that my teammate AT-8 would have been able to finish off the Cheeto, but with an injured driver and loader, he was reluctant to make a move, and since the Cheeto had such low hit points, he didn't want to make a move either. And what we end up with is a draw to a 15-minute long game. It's a shame that neither of them wanted to take a risk and go for the win, because this is a really boring way to end such a long game. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game, I managed to earn 76,000 silver without any multipliers, and I earned 3,801 experience. I dealt 3,857 damage, assisted with 252 damage, and destroyed 7 enemies. This earned me High Caliber, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Devastator, and Top Gun. I also received Defender for resetting the base capture points, and Arsonist for destroying that enemy medium tank with fire. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,259. I'm happy with this base XP considering that the game ended in a draw. I managed to hit 10 of my 15 shots, and all of those 10 penetrated. I didn't do much in terms of crew and module damage this game. I destroyed the fuel tank and injured the loader in the VK36.01H, damaged the engine in the VK30.01D, and injured the radio operator in the OI Experimental. Well, that's all for this game. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the SU-100Y's awesome potential, and that it'll give you some ideas on how to improve your own gameplay with the tank. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.